Alright guys, so these are the plants that we're going to be repotting today. On the left here we have some Selenicereus species. I'm not sure which species it is. These are seeds that we collected here off the island. Right here we have a Kalanchoe Beharensis that I took a cutting from the Moir desert cactus down in southern Kaua'i. And then right here we have the Kleinia stapeliiformis, also known as the pickle plant. We have 6 Buddha bellies that are also seedlings that I took from the pathway along Moir desert gardens. This is Jatropha podagrica, and then we have several cuttings of the mother of thousands. That's the Kalanchoe daigremontiana. So we'll get into that right now. I think to begin with, I want to save the spiky guys for last. Let's do the mother of thousands second to last. These guys. Let's do the Kalanchoe Beharensis first, just because that's going to be a really easy repot. You can see that he's in a little 4-inch pot, and when I got him he was just a tiny little cutting, and he's grown quite a bit. These guys are so hardy and super beautiful. So very velvety, you can see. Super hardy. I mean, this thing is bone dry. Oh, there's a little millipede inside his pot. Cool. So let's give him a lot more soil. Let's go with I think it's 6-inch pot. Let's go with something like this size right here. All right. Okay, so let's get this thing cleared out of the way here. Hopefully we don't get bit by the sharp guy. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be pretty quick. Let me just fill in some soil here. Yeah, this guy dries out super quick, but he does not mind at all. So there's our root ball. Let's take a look at it. Let's see here. It's looking pretty good. I put him in as much porous mixture as I could. Just lost a leaf, but that's okay. It was coming off anyway. And honestly, he doesn't even show signs of being sun stressed at all or thirsty. So I water him about once a week. That might change. Now that he's in a bigger pot, let me hurry and I'll be right back. Alright, here he is, guys. Brand new pot, super easy. These guys can get absolutely huge. When I end up doing the Moir desert garden tour, you guys are going to see the mother plants from this guy, and they are huge. I mean, these leaves are actually really kind of small. They actually can get pretty big. So they're a very gorgeous plant, nice and silver, kind of this copper tone to them. I'll do an individual spotlight on him in a little bit. Let's move on to the next one. Let's do these Jatrophas, the Buddha bellies. Okay, so the Buddha bellies are going to go into, I think, 4-inch pots. These guys are also super hardy. They probably don't get watered nearly as much as they should, and so by up-potting them, they should be a lot happier. So I'm gonna go off camera and cut some screen for the bottom of each of these pots, and I'll be right back. All right, so let's go the one that has the mother of thousands in it first. So what I'm gonna do is fill this up with some soil, and then let's break this bad boy open. That mother of thousands is actually a volunteer plant. I did not plant that. And I didn't own a mother of thousands prior to that thing seeding. So where it came from, I don't know. Here in Hawaii, they're actually considered an invasive pest. Maybe not a pest, but they're definitely invasive. And they are quick to spread, so. Oh, look at the roots on that guy. They're really pretty though. Let me bring it into frame here. They're super pretty. Alright, so this Jatropha Buddha belly. These are really cool. They are a caduciform. They get about 3 feet tall. I'll do another spotlight on these guys here in a little bit, but a lot of people here in Hawaii have them, especially in areas that don't get a lot of water, maybe under an eave or something under the roof, and they are beautiful. I like them a lot. Get some fertilizer, and let's top them off with some more soil. Now, unlike my cactus mix, I add quite a bit more homemade compost, and that's just because it's going to hold it's a lot more organic matter, so it's going to hold on to a lot more moisture. And Jatrophas are actually related to euphorbias. They're in the Euphorbiaceae family, like pretty much everything else. But they do, while they are a succulent type plant, they do like their moisture. So let's go with this guy next. Why not? Nice, this guy doesn't have as much roots as I want him to have, but what I noticed with him just recently is he had some slugs. They are kind of like the bane of my existence. So he didn't need to be up potted. He probably just needed more soil in his pot, but I'm going to up pot him anyway, and we should see a big explosion of growth with him. Let's put some fertilizer with him, and then I'll also put some mycorrhizal inoculant. Now, I don't know if the Jatropha form a symbiotic relationship with the mycorrhizal fungi, but it can't hurt, because if they don't form one, nothing will happen. If they do form one, amazing things can happen. So let's just do this real quick. And I want to keep bringing them up. And one thing with caduciforms is you guys can, as they grow, maybe in a year I can wash away all the soil and expose the roots and kind of form a gnarly looking, pretty aesthetically pleasing caudex with the Buddha belly. But for now, they tend to also grow pretty nice caudex on their own. That's just kind of how they grow, but you can definitely shape it and manipulate it if you wanted to. All right, so let's go through this guy. Okay. One thing that I will definitely make sure to show you guys when it happens is the flowers on these guys are amazing. They're like a coral red. They even look like coral. They have this branch appearance to them. They are incredible. Really, really pretty. It's one of the reasons why I collected them out of that. Okay, how to change the battery. That is something I will never get used to, I don't think. Wow, that is a dense piece of something. Not sure what was in that. Being homemade compost, it usually breaks down pretty well. But that one did not. You know what I forgot? Fertilizer and all of this, and I forgot to be in frame. Come on, guys. It's a little too much. Just mix it in that. Okay. There's that guy. We'll go with this next one. And they develop these really big, nice round leaves. And for a succulent, you know, something that's pretty drought tolerant, to have big flat leaves like that, it's kind of a nice change instead of having tiny little leaves. So yeah, try to keep this in frame. I'm not sure how the filming angle is. I'm trying a lot of different stuff to see if I can get a feel for what I like, what I don't like. But we'll see. You guys can also tell me, I like it, I don't like it. And of course we're getting more rain, so the leaves are a little speckled with rain as I try to rush into the garage to the filming location. Oh, nice. But you can kind of see they're developing a little bit of a caudex. Why they're called Buddha belly, I'm not sure, they're kind of really more elongated, but maybe some of them do get some nice big bulbous caudexes. I have yet to see a really nice bulbous base, but maybe one day, or maybe even one of these will be like that. Okay, let's do a little fertilizer, and then maybe a little bit more. Now the soil will settle and it'll actually drop, but that should be okay for now. And I won't water these the same way I wouldn't water a freshly planted cactus, just in case their roots are torn or kind of broken while I'm transplanting them, but there we go. And let's get this one topped off. This is just a little bit above the pot line, but that's okay. Like I said, this will all settle, especially after its first watering. It does quite a bit of settling. But yeah, these were all about this size when I picked them up from the pathway. Something that they would have cut down or ripped out anyway. So I didn't think they would mind if I took some volunteer seedlings. Let's do the mother of thousands next, yeah. This is crazy. This leaf I did take from a friend's house, and I just took one leaf, and it sprouted these three sprouts, and they themselves are sprouting sprouts, and so it's a never-ending story. I will plant these in an area is going to be cement. I don't want these spreading out through my yard. I don't think they're like plague necessarily, like maybe like Scheffleras are, or African violets, or African tulips are, excuse me. But they can be a bit of a volunteer wherever you go. So let's go into a, I don't know, 4-inch pot sounds good to me. And I'll fill it up here. Let's, oh boy. Sometimes my chopsticks are a little bit too big, so I gotta go to these barbecue skewers, which is good. And I did just water this before I decided I was gonna transplant it. So that's okay though. Let's put it right there. And then I want to orient this outside just like that. There we go. Let's do the shake method. There we go. And I'll just shake them in. These guys are really pretty, you know, when they're full grown. They have this kind of, I don't know, height to them that kind of gives a different feel to a garden or a planter. A lot of succulents will kind of sprawl out. It's kind of nice to get a nice tall growing, something maybe for the background. And the color's really nice. They're kind of tiger striped. See if I can get that close up here. You can kind of see how pretty that is. And then this leaf really thickened up. It was a thin little leaf like this, but it's grown just all on its own, big and succulent. So they're an easy to go plant, something for any beginner for sure. I may end up down the line just giving this away to somebody. But yeah, so that one's done. And oh, thank goodness. I thought we had to do the Selenicereus. I'm not ready for that. I have my gloves over here for them, and I know they're gonna chew through those gloves, so we'll just have to hope it's not too bad, right? Right. Okay, let's do, when these guys get big, these pickle plants, when they get big, they start to actually droop over, and I always have wanted to try a hanging basket, but I think that's kind of down the line for them. Both of these were given to me as freebies in some succulent orders, and yeah, I appreciate the freebie. I don't have this plant, and I like it. It is a pretty plant. You can see the pattern on it's really nice. And I'm trying to decide what size I want to go to. I think I'll do a 2-inch pot, because why not? And I'll be right back. I'm going to go cut another screen for this. Okay. All right, so I have a little 4-inch pot here. Let's see what we're working with for roots on this guy. He's got some decent roots on him. I just wanted to tidy up my little balcony area because I have multiples and they're taking up room. Although you could argue that the amount of room they're taking up is now going to be the same as one bigger pot. Oh well. Okay, so we'll get him fitted in there nicely. Get him drifted in there, and then when you're planting or setting up anything, you always want odd numbers. It's more pleasing to the eye, supposedly. I agree. But yeah, you know, I used to sell fish and breed fish, and we'd always recommend buying them in schooling fish in odd numbers. Anything over 5 is really pleasing. Now, anything over 12, I don't think your brain's going to be able to tell the difference between an odd number and an even number. And that's my rant for the night. Okay, get these guys in here. And I think, while that looks kind of funny with them being so spaced apart, I think that will work out well long term for them. Oops. Let's see if I can get it any more secured in there. Like that. Here we go. And this one too. I'm just roughhousing them, aren't I? That's okay. Okay. So here we go. There's that one. Nice and ready to go. And now we have the old nippy ones. So this is a Selenicereus. It's kind of a tropical jungle style cactus. They grow really well here in Hawaii, especially here in Kaua'i, on the south side, west side, where it's a lot drier. On the leeward side, as windward usually gets all the rain and it hits the mountains and dumps. And then we get the drier side, and these guys do really well. Cactus aren't native to Hawaii. We don't have any native cactus here. But they do really well here, like I said. So I am stalling and procrastinating because I've been bitten so many times by these guys while I've been moving my cactus around. But they're really pretty Selenicereus. They have kind of a red tone to them. Oh, come on, focus, buddy. And black spines. And the fruit is edible. It's delicious. And so I'm excited for that. And the flowers are amazing. They're huge. Night blooming, and so they're white, and I don't know if we have anything that could pollinate them. We do have bats here, we do have moths here, so let's stop playing procrastination and focus game, and let's just plant these bad boys. I think all of those could fit into a 4-inch pot, and I think that will probably be best, so let's go with that. Okay, moment of truth. Let's get these gloves on. These are very old, well-used garden gloves. And they're not going to protect me at all. But sometimes you just gotta get dirty. Alright, so let's take them out individually, I think. And then we'll maybe kind of place them inside here. And there's 6 of them, right? No, there's 5. Okay, so that's kind of good too. Just because it's 1 less than 6, which I like, and it's also more pleasing, being that odd number. I hope I'm not talking too quiet. I had a long day at work, and I had to get a video filmed, and so I'm exhausted, is what I'm trying to say, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, the gloves are working. There's a lot of roots in there. Let's do this guy too. Oh, he's a lot drier. With the rains we've been having, some of these are getting direct exposure. Now the thing with these cactus is actually they can tolerate a lot more water than some of the other cactus. These epiphytic climbing style cactus that, you know, come from the margins of a jungle, they do really well here in Hawaii because of that fact that they can tolerate a lot of water. Because some days, even the south side, west sides, they get inundated with tons of precipitation. And yeah, sometimes they can't get help but get soaked. A lot of the wild cactus that we have here that are that are introduced are prickly pear. We have a ton of opuntia here, and Peruvian apple cactus. I have a cutting in my front yard. And like I said, once I hit 200 subscribers, guys, I'll do a full tour of all the plants here at the Rocky Fern, and you guys will see all the succulents I have. I have a ton of succulents. Speaking of tons of succulents, do you know that little greenhouse that they have at Costco? We have one now at our Costco here, and it's a pretty nice, decent size. It's maybe 10 by 8 feet tall. It could not house all my cactus. Like, I'd have to either have another greenhouse, a bigger greenhouse, add much more shelving than would be okay with the amount of sunlight or light that, you know, amount of light that could go into that greenhouse. I just have a lot of succulents, so I have a lot of plants, but yeah, it just wouldn't work. So as much as I would love to have a greenhouse, I would need a really big one. Okay, let's try to do this smart. Let's try to get them all fit in here. Please don't poke my finger, buddy. You know, you're a biter, I know it. I know it. Okay. And like I said, these are seedlings that we took the seeds from some fruit pods. I want to say last year, maybe like October-ish of last year, me and the boys. And they've been growing really, really well. I have no idea what I'm going to do with them once they need to be trained up a trellis and whatnot. But let's see if I can get these guys to fit nicely and kind of break up their root ball a little bit so they do fit a little bit better. And we'll put the little munchkin in here. Ow, see? Oh, you bit me. Oh, you son of a gun. You got me. Oh. And it bit me through the back side of the glove, as always is the case. Okay, so we rest him here and hopefully get that root ball, kind of those roots to mix around. I want to spread them around a little bit. I'd like it if they kind of sprawled out like that over the pot. These guys do make pretty nice hanging baskets. I don't like to work with gloves because they spill over the edge. Nice. They do climb. They send out arrow roots all along the length of the cactus. A lot of Selenicereus do that, if not all of them. But they also have these really aggressive spines, unlike other semi-jungle cactus, other epiphytic cactus, like your rickracks and your Christmas, your Schomburgias, or your yeah, your other ones. I can't think. Okay, and then what I think I will do is top dress this guy, clean him up a little bit, and I'll top dress him as soon as I kind of tap in the soil here. Nope, he's gonna fall out. Okay, let's bring you in more. Let's see if I can push you down a little bit. There we go. All right, so he'll send roots down that will kind of foot him in real nice. That's right, foot him in. It's an actual saying that I just made up. hit him with that top, which is out of frame. Why not? Okay. Yeah, so maybe this isn't the best filming angle. So duly noted. And we'll try something else next time. Why not? Why not? Okay. Yeah, cool. All right, guys, here we are. All potted up, ready to go, and we'll do a follow-up here maybe in a couple months to see how well they're doing. We're going into spring, summer, and so we should see a ton of new growth on all our plants. This guy is a biter, but he is beautiful, and he actually has one of the most vicious spines out of all my cactus, so I give him lots of respect, as you should. All right, well, if you guys like what you see here, make sure to subscribe, give a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next adventure.